Hey, good morning, everybody. Morning, David, Francois, Arturo, Dex, Mahalo. I think I said that right. I don't know. Mary, Harry, Valerie. Good morning, everybody. If you want to join all these fine people in chatting with me this morning during the live stream, all you got to do is be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button. While you're at it, you might as well hit the bell with the notification thingers, the doodads, because I go live every morning at 9:15 before the market opens. Sometimes 9:10. Lately 9:15. And talk about what's moving, what the news is, what the catalysts for the day according to the mainstream media. I mean, I'm not one that believes in fundamental, news catalysts. In fact, the number one most detrimental thing that you as a trader can do is listen to news and react to it on your trades. You need to have a plan based on the charts and the prices, not on financial news. Because I guarantee you, there is way more news than you ever can digest. I mean, go pull up an actual live news stream. There are probably 9 godzillion news items hitting the market any given day. And I mean, it's really ridiculous how much news there is. And the mainstream media just picks up a couple little tidbits that they think that you as a viewer are going to be interested in. And then if you make snap decisions on your trading based on that, I mean, that's a horrible decision. So I think the majority of people that keep returning and following and listening to me understand that. But if you're new, please, please, please don't trade the news. It can be the number one most detrimental thing to you. All right. So today, kicking off financial earnings, kind of getting the next quarter's earnings underway. So let's go ahead and do this. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Remember, I may be full of crap, so past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. I mean, may never get anything right ever again. This presentation, intended to be informational, educational, and fun, is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire personal financial advice, hire and consult a financial advisor. Hopefully not just a robo-advisor. Hopefully somebody that's got a fiduciary duty to give you advice based on your personal financial situation. Got the green monster here today. Kind of makes me see through, I guess. And pull this one over. We had, yesterday we did have some earnings kicking up. We had Delta, PepsiCo, Progressive. We saw insurance companies moving quite a bit yesterday on that inflation from Wednesday. They announcing some losses here. So be careful chasing insurance. It looks like it may go through a bottom before we can find the bottom and they can get their prices raised and start making money again. Morning, Sledge. Morning, Billy. Morning, Dan. Billy, don't recognize you. So good morning. So we have the financials coming in. JP Morgan, United Healthcare, Citi, Wells Fargo, Ericsson, State Street, BlackRock, all announcing earnings. Several of these made the morning movers list. And AEHR right there made the morning movers list too. So we'll check them out here in just a minute. Now, I wanted to circle back. Let's go back in time to January 17th when I first shared this chart right here. This is S&P 500 3-day chart. Hard to remember all the way back here. This was January 17th, though. We were right in the midst of this. I drew these white arrows here. And we don't need the higher insurance rates, but the insurance company's taking severe losses, and they're going to raise rates. Georgia already reporting 40% increases by Allstate, I think it is. Anyway, so we were up off the bottom, the bottom back here in October. We had done this pullback into December and started rallying into January. January 17th, I drew these 2 sets of white arrows on the chart as a proposed path forward. Fast forward to this morning. I just took this picture. Same white arrows, never been adjusted, right there. And look at where we are. Beautiful. Both of these paths led to higher. I mean, both went to the same place. I gave no credence to a lower low. Didn't think we would do it. We haven't done it at this point, but now we're coming up into a potential resistance zone. Now, there is a potential orange count here. A, B, C. This proportion peaks out right here, 45.83. This is S&P 500, not ES. This is the actual S&P 500 cash index SPX. So these numbers are different than ES that I'll talk about. There's a difference in price. So that orange comes out 45.83.99 right there. Now the wave 3 that I had on here, it actually was out, on here way back here. We've just refined it just slightly. That wave 3 came in 45.44, and the other one up here at 48.83. Up here, 48.83. If we are bullish, if this is a bullish, whole big bullish pattern here, I have other evaluators that don't necessarily think I'm right, but that's okay. Everybody can have their own opinion. I haven't really changed this at all for a long time. I did put these Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on here, but the 1, 2, and that 3, 4, 5 have been on here for a while. A long while, almost the entire year. Now, the problem. This can turn down right in here at this A equals C, and we can make a lower low. This could be a big corrective wave up from this corrective low. Could be a corrective wave up, especially because we haven't gotten the proportional pullbacks that I've been looking for. All right, we're setting some kind of crazy record here, and this doesn't fit with continuation right now. So I am on big caution alert that we find resistance and turn down. Now the turn down, the drop, potential drop off of this zone can kind of set the direction. Like, are we going to find support like over here and can get continuation higher, or are we going to set up some sort of impulsive type move down for a bigger drop that goes lower than we saw in October? So I just want to make you aware there's a reason why I'm not beating the drum that we're all clear, going higher like most of the other mainstream media type people. All right. If you see me say MSM in Discord, I'm talking about mainstream media. And speaking of Discord, if you want to come join us and where we chat all day about this sort of stuff, and you can ask me questions about specific tickers and charts and all that sort of thing, link is in the description. It's like you gotta be a client. It's like $5 to get 3 months, and there's like an upgrade for 12 more months for not a lot more money. So you get 15 months for $20, $25, something like that. Pretty affordable, and I don't do this for free. So anyway, that's my little spiel. I do YouTube for free, so you can just keep watching this. Anyway, right there, resistance, either, this is a resistance point for the bullish count, the 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and for the bearish count, this C, and I didn't even draw the bearish case on here yet. This is just for my reference, that this is kind of my alternate expectation. I've been on the bullish count. I'm just a little concerned that there's not been any pullbacks in here at all. This could easily be a C wave finishing this up. And I'm just kind of cautious. All right. I do hope that we can clear this up in the coming weeks, and let's hope that it all clears up. Now, I want to share one more thing with you. One more. I just thought of this. Need to share this one more chart. Let's see if I can find it really quickly. I think I have it pinned in my channel. Let's see if I can find it. I have a channel for stuff for these videos, and let's see if I can find this chart that I'm looking for. Oh my goodness, I don't have it pinned. Oh, that was awesome. Well, let's see if I can find it. Anyway, here it is. Here it is. This one will be familiar. So let's look at this. Last 20 years, this is VIX right here. Let's look at this right here. Oh, too big. Right here, July. We usually see a drop in July in VIX. And then we see some volatility coming to the market. I think we can all admit that VIX is kind of at a low right now, right? If we go pull up that chart here in a second, we're at an epic low. Now this chart is the average through 2021, and I saw one yesterday through 2022, and I'll have to try to pull that up and see if I can find it later. I'll post it in Discord if I find it. So popping over here, clear alerts, because I don't know why that all popped up since I got in here. Probably because I didn't refresh the browser properly. Let's reload this really quickly. There we go. And we'll come back to coin in just a minute. VIX right here, epically low. It's been epically low all through June. Not really obeying the seasonality chart at all. This may be due for a pop here. All right, we did get a little flash. If we compare that chart back, I just threw it over on the other screen. Let's kind of make this back smaller, and we'll pull the window down. So, yeah, we kind of got a little pop. I mean, that kind of got that little move, sorta. Be careful, all right? We can be in for more volatility than we've seen in the last little bit. Yeah, that does kind of look, actually, kind of squint your eye, right? That kind of looks like that right there, and that looks like that right there, and that could be exactly what happens. All right. I look for patterns in the market, and this pattern right here, be careful, all right? We can see increased volatility. This is not necessarily an all clear. This could lead us down in the market. Volatility. We may not see a higher high for a little while, all right? Please be careful. All right. Moving on. Let's talk about what's actually moving today. Now, S5FI hit a new high, higher than yesterday. This thing, we get fully cooked at 100. When 100% of the S&P 500 stocks are above their 50-day moving average, watch out below. All right. Have we ever hit 100? Not to my knowledge. Not since they've been doing this. Even back here, it was like 90, like 97. All right. We've got room we can go higher, but up here, we don't usually hang above 80 very long before getting a pullback. And the longer and higher we stay up here, the more likely we are to get a outsized move back down toward the bottom. Now this doesn't really ever touch zero either, but we get darn close. All right, especially off of record high numbers back here. When we zoom this out and look, we tend to go down very quickly and come off of extremes and go right to the other extreme. So this is one I've got my eye on, that we can reverse very violently off of these highs right now that we have in the S&P 500 and on ES. Now, yesterday, who remembers what level I said that we'd probably come up and find some resistance? Anybody? Anybody? We did that perfect move. I mean, this was perfect. We pulled back right there, market's open, and we rallied right up and found resistance right there at the 45.50 on the ES. This is the S&P 500 futures, not the cash index. Cash index is starting to move now. What's next? Well, we consolidated all day coming off the top, and there's no clear direction next. We can climb the fib ladder. We could come right on up to 45.83, but we might need to come back and visit this roadmap line. This is just a 30-minute chart, but these same things apply on all time frames. That move up has been ridiculous. I mean, look at this. That is an outsized move, straight up, very bullish, and we hit extensions. A lot of times we see it kind of park here and possibly correct. All right, just be aware. This bullishness of the last couple of days doesn't have to continue. Now, If we look at the cash index based on the closes, 1-day chart simplified, 45.99. All right, this kind of conflicts with that ES kind of topping out. So we may see extension on ES, and this may reach up to 45.99 right there. Had it on the chart for days, all right? This is not rocket surgery or science or whatever. All right, your 45.50 has been pinging all morning. I hear you. Mine too. So this right here, on the S&P 500 cash index, this is based on the closes, not all the other, we're not talking about candles. It's just the close, chart of the close. This thing has been very, very, very good at predicting our next turns. I thought we would see a turn down here. We did not get it at all. The might happen extension happening. We may get a pullback off of that 45.99 level. We may continue to grind right on up to it. Be careful, please. Please, please, please. All right. That's what we're looking at right now. All right, that's the simplified. Keep your time frame in mind. If you're looking at the 3-day chart, which I started out with, keep that in mind. If you're looking at the simplified daily close, don't go jumping down in the 30-minute trying to figure out, if you should be liquidating your account. All right? Keep your time frame in mind. When your time frame invalidates, then take action. And right now, looks like we're going up to 45.99. Then we probably need a retrace before we can get the energy to go retest the highs. Highs coming in right around 4,800 on the close. And we could go for extensions here. We're getting above the resistance. If you were, there we go, moving everything. Let's zoom out just a little bit. If you were trading this and you were trading the pullback on the S&P, the next moves out, we're looking for 51.29 and 55.51 all the way up here. All right. My classic roadmap pattern. This thing pulling back, bouncing. The extensions we would look for, 51, basically 51.30 and 55.50. Is there likely to be a pullback in here? Yes. Is that going to take a little while? Yeah, like this took, usually the moves up take about 3 times longer. This took almost all of 10 months. So we're looking at 30 months we could possibly run up into this high over here. We've already been at it for 7 months, so this could take a while to get on up here to that 55.50 area. All right, it can go just as fast, but typically the next move takes a little time to get there. And then we could even get a blow-off extension up to like 6,000 or higher. All right, so this chart is potentially very bullish, but in the short term, the near term, the actionable time frame, we need kind of a pullback. We need to recharge this baby. All right, things are getting really extended. We've got a long time off of that March 13th low, and right now S&P is unclear. ES, ES is S&P 500. That's like SPY if you're looking for an ETF. NQ, which is QQQ. Oh, look at that coin coming up to that 115 area. Go look at that. Divert from NQ real quick. Let's go look at coin. This thing, rocking it. Baby, love this. This was a measured bounce pattern. I gave you targets for months now. The extension target all the way up here. I've got to flip it back to logarithmic so this makes sense. I expected this to come up and test after we broke out, and we're on the path, baby. On the path, baby. 200 is my ideal target. 200. That's still quite a ways from 113 where we are right now. Beautiful pattern. If this is bearish, we'll probably stall out at about 127, 28, 30, that 130 area and turn down. That could lead to a lower low. I am cautious there. That can be significant resistance. So coin may stall out a little bit right here. If we can blast right on up through, if we can blast right on up through, probably heading right up to this 170 to 240 area, with 200 being my ideal target. I am long coin, long out the nose, up several 100%, and loving it. All right. This is when a plan comes together. You make a buku load of money. Beautiful, beautiful move here. Now, we could find resistance at that 115. Protect your account. Like, I am ready to liquidate my position if this starts turning down in a violent way. All right. Circling back in Q now. Keeps pushing extensions. Probably headed to 15,880-ish on NQ. That's just the normal pattern. That would be the 1618 extension off that last pullback. 15,879, 880. And you might be like, JT, how do I trade that? QQQ is how you trade it. That's the ETF. And let's clean this up just a little bit and talk about where the target is. Right here. Do that pullback. That extension coming up 382. So almost there on NQ. On QQQ, the ETF. So a little bit of divergence, or a little bit of not exactly perfectly correlated on the targets, because the futures trade overnight and they went a little deeper than the QQQ did that only trades during the day. So there you go. And if we turned on the overnight data, you may have a little better picture. Still same. Still same. So expecting some resistance on QQQ. Russell has a long way to go yet. We are still way underperforming on the Russell. The near-term target, 1991, but to catch up where the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ are, we need to move up to this 2200 area on Russell. All right, and it can make big moves fast. It can. It's maybe not as likely as you would expect, but we could be up here in a few more days. And that may fully cook the market. This is your small caps. This is IWM. Right now, we may get a retrace, though, on the micro, the smaller time frame. This doesn't have to explode higher. It can come up here, find resistance at prior highs, and turn down. It is lagging. All right. There's a reason it's lagging, and that was the financials from March. CL trying its darndest to push above the roadmap line. That's going to set it up for an extension higher up into the $80 to $83 area, 80 being my ideal target. And if it does the watermelon seed squeeze target, that would be up to 84.50-ish on oil. And I am long oil. Gold, still haven't taken my position. I was not overly enthused with that doji yesterday. Just not feeling it. For whatever reason, just wasn't feeling it yet, and didn't add a position. I have GOLD out to 2025. That's Barrick Mining Company. But I'm waiting on my GLD position here. Other people have already jumped in. I'm just kind of waiting. I just didn't like the micro price action. We may get a little more, another little retrace, and then a breakout. So just waiting. I can't explain what it is I see. Something tells me to wait. SLV, though, look at that baby. Breaking out. Cruising. 35 is my target, but it may not get there for the rest of this year, maybe into late 24, maybe even 25. I am out to 2025 with this position, looking for 35. I have a synthetic position, which is buy a call, sell a put, buy a lower put. So it's kind of like buy a long call, finance it with a credit put spread. And I'm out to 25 with that. And it was rocking yesterday. Beautiful profit already. I can't imagine how high this thing can potentially go when it gets to 35. Bitcoin here, churning a little bit off the highs, and we may get a pullback. It tried to break out when the futures and equities market closed yesterday. We got Bitcoin started dropping on the spot market, BTC, USD, and it wasn't a giant pullback, but it was pulling back off of that potential breakout. This is a resistance level, and this resistance level came from all the way back here a year ago. More than a year ago, May 22. Having a little trouble working through it. Once we can get on the upside of this, extensions, baby. We'll see some extensions. All right. You can see it right there. We're having trouble getting through those prior highs right over there. That's what the resistance is. People are like, JT, I don't see the resistance. It was right there. having a little trouble getting through there. Once we can, kind of we're freed up to start hitting some targets. Ethereum trying its darndest to break out of the bearish consolidation. This was looking kind of bearish. We're made a higher high, but can we hold on to it and get the extension? 2288 is my extension higher on the future here, and 2468 maybe after that. Dollar, look at that goal right to the target, and getting a little green doji today so far. You would think that is it lucky or is this good? I mean, he came right down there and stopped. Like, look at that. Right down to the target. We may retrace back up to 100 and 80 right there before we can get the next extension down. Classic pattern. The continuation would be right down here to 98, 40. Beautiful. Worked out perfectly. Bigger term target, mid-90s. All right, Caspa making the hot sheets here for me this morning. Target right up here around 5.5 cents, 2.8 cents currently. That's a beautiful potential move. This is a measured bounce, and it's a roadmap line bounce. And if it can break out above 3.3 cents, it's probably headed up to 5.1, if not 6.2. XRP, that one clearing some kind of regulatory news, getting relisted on Coinbase. That's another reason coin's popping. Everybody getting excited. We have significant resistance right above us, and we kind of stop there. This thing may retrace a little bit. All right, doesn't have to just continue up. It's got a lot of resistance built up here, and there's no real price pattern for extension right now without getting a retrace and giving me something else to work with. This kind of played out, and that's really what we got. I mean, that played out right to the 618, and that, I mean, it played out. We need a retrace. Retest this breakout would be typical, but if it's super bullish, it may just consolidate here a few days, a couple weeks maybe, before it breaks on out. Now we start getting above here, then we can talk about further extensions, but we've got some significant resistance here at $1.33, and we've got significant resistance at these all-time highs right up here on XRP. All right. JPM. Beautiful move. Right up through the 127, the 618, 1618, up at 157. And it's not a long way to get there. We may break on out and go to the higher pattern, 192, 217 on the upside. My ideal target was up here right around 195, 192, 195. Coin, we already kind of talked about. Plug. Find a resistance right there. Mara wasn't making the list this morning. I see that in the chat. I can briefly hit on it at the end. Plug trying its darndest to get above the roadmap line. And let's see what we got. Is that actually a measured bounce? Yeah, actually is. So Plug may be headed up to the $16 area right up in here. As long as it can hold above the roadmap line. Took a lot of energy to get here, but it may have the energy to get right back up in there. And that is kind of, if you look at where these lows kind of all hit right in there. Nice crooked line, beautiful. Have the lows, resistance, lows, lows, lows. Probably come back up and test that area. Microsoft, probably going to go for that 1618 at 360, maybe even up to 378. NVIDIA, right up to the 460 area, 470 even. That's my target. That was my long-term target, and we didn't get the retrace I had expected. This one's cooked. a lot of people keep throwing out higher targets, 550, whatever. This one's cooked, and I think there's better opportunities. The percent gain from here up to 550 is rather small compared to the potential drop that we may see. You know, can you deal with a 33% drop back to the roadmap line? Be careful. Protect yourself if you're chasing that one long. AT&T plummeting. Ouch. UNH. These top few were off of stock twits. So few poppers, few droppers. UNH right down to the target. And can we make the reversal now? The extension would have been down to 436. Haven't done that, so that's still sitting there as a potential to go down to that confluence right there where all those fibs line up. If we can break above the roadmap line, higher targets up here, like 579, possibly 620-ish. So got some stuff to work through. On the daily, it's just kind of popping around, and it's, you know, when we look at it, that's just in between. You know, there's nothing to take action on the daily. That's still a downtrend. It can still go lower. It can still hit downside targets. LUNR, sideways garbage. And look, it sat at this price forever, and it's just right back there. Nothing for me. It popped, it dropped, went lower. I mean, this is dangerous garbage. I mean, that's just a dumpster fire. I mean, that's a dangerous lose your money proposition. Citibank not looking as bullish as JPM, not breaking out. This is kind of like a wedge type situation. Watermelon seed squeeze, I call it. Working in tighter and tighter range. Is it going to pop out? Is it going to pop down? The initial range can be how far it moves on the next move. Humana, I mean, insurance getting beat down. Healthcare costs skyrocketing. I don't know. This thing can find a low in this area and reverse, but it's not. This is not the kind of thing I chase with my money right now. Healthcare in general looked kind of bearish. This could be a measured bounce setup, but I'm not feeling it yet. Just not. This is not something that I'm like feeling strongly about. We did get the extension. We can reverse from this spot. This correction does look pretty good. Just we need a pop up and a retrace and a breakout and get above the roadmap line. That's the things I would look for. Netflix probably cruising up for that 500 gap fill. It's working toward it. Probably going to get there. You know, Meta also working toward its gap fill. Almost there. $8 left to go. $8 left to go. Almost there. ELV. This one's on my blue list. Potential reversal bounce here. But that still looks like garbage. I mean, that's still a garbage pattern. That can go lower. Potential to reverse, but that, I mean, I wouldn't chase it with your money. That's got a long way to go to get bullish and go higher highs. Waves, ridiculous. That must be a SPAC. Yeah, nothing there. Garbage chart for me. GS, that looks pretty bearish. Consolidation under the roadmap line, drifting off lower. Be careful. We got earnings coming up next week. CI, Cigna, another insurance. This one actually above the roadmap line. Move the whole thing instead of just the point. Got resistance coming up right up here where we consolidated. If we can get above that, we can go for extensions. 367, 400. But we can turn down there and make a lower low. This does not really have three waves. Be careful chasing Cigna. Spot, beautiful move. Probably coming up here to 220, 218. Probably going to do this. ACAD, pharmaceutical. These things just announce crazy stuff sometimes and pop. That is a potential breakout, but there's a large gap of resistance right there. SMCI, rocking further extensions, 303. May turn down from 303. Be careful. NVO. There. Came down to the roadmap line. Be careful on pharmaceuticals and biotechs, but if this one gets bullish, 179, 186. The resistance is 164. That would kind of be my price where I would be looking for an entry above if I'm not in it, or confirmation if I'm grabbing aggressive entries now. Stop down here below like 145-ish. That could mean it's going on back to retest this consolidation down here. PNC, probably coming up to test the roadmap line. That was a heck of an extension lower. Not overly bullish yet. Could be working on a little head and shoulders pattern. Inverse style. That could lead to a move. Something like this. Right up to about 155. I would look for breaking, if you jump it on the break of the neckline, make sure you watch the roadmap line area, that 135, 136, 7, 8 area. If we can get up through that, higher likelihood we go up there, which is where we consolidated before we dropped out, right up here. Yeah, not too shabby looking, actually, on PNC. FAS, this thing usually gets bullish right into financial earnings, and then it's a crapshoot from there. But that's a pretty good bullish move right into earnings. The bigger measured bounce pattern, and this one gets super crazy. Look at this. Could go to 900 if this measured bounce potential sets up and actually plays out here. The breakout would be above 93. And could set it up to go to 900. That's just echoing this move right here once again. AEHR announcing those earnings, breaking out to all-time highs. The extension target before another retrace, probably 51. Could climb to 58, but a retrace looking likely after that. Rose, ridiculous. SPAC, I guess. Look at that pop up to 20 and right back down to 11. Be careful chasing this garbage. AMAT, yeah. Head and shoulders target all the way up here at 190. May take it a while to get there. I mean, the head and shoulders took a while to form. Could take it a little while. And bouncing right off the fibs. It may work its way right up there. Could be out to early next year before it gets there. Pool. That's a interesting measured bounce with a bounce right back off of the roadmap line. Let's look at this. And deep measured bounce. Potential. Lots of bullish stuff showing up today. And potential's up here 524. And the smaller time frame measured bounce setup right here. Resistance at 401, 415. S wave. Back to the roadmap line. Failed to break out. Retraced. That can be the piece it needs to go out to 343, 373. Leslie's. God, look at that. 33% down. Ouch. This is why I say don't chase garbage charts. This is a garbage chart. And gap down. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Look, I mean, couldn't break above the roadmap line. Couldn't break above the roadmap line. Tried again. Slam back down. Lower low. Ouch. I don't know what they may have announced today. Looks like they lose money. Used to make a little money. Started losing a bunch of money. Be careful. That one could go out of business. Another one. Ouch. Look at that one. Oh, golly. Another one that was not able to get above the roadmap line. Way lower low. Down 31%. THRX. Down 67%. Look at that one. That's a biotech. I always warn about biotechs. Biotechs can just announce that all their hopes and dreams were crushed by the FDA and drop. Be careful. All right, Mora was the request. 20 has been a long time target. 20 to 30, that target right up there. I got no changes. Like, that's my pattern's playing out. We're almost to the 21 target. We hit the 15 and trucking on through. 21, 31, 20 to 30. Let's be conservative about our targets. Don't try to be overly aggressive. May see a pullback after that. Classic expectation would be a pullback back to the breakout high, breakout area where these highs were. That's the head and shoulders pattern playing out that we had. Long-term head and shoulders on the way down. And then from there, find support, turn up again. 120, 100, I mean, if you're in Crypto Unleashed or, any of the other ones, I've got long-term charts posted in Discord. So, there you go. Bias for the day, still kind of biased up. I mean, let's be honest. Everything's bullish, but I'm very cautious. Got to watch the support levels. If we start breaking below prior highs here, we start, at this point, it's 44.95, almost 4,500. We start getting below 4,500. Certainly below 44.80-ish. Right back over here. This kind of where we topped out right here. That's going to be my warning. Otherwise, we can just keep climbing the fib ladder for now. And that daily S&P 500 chart I showed you, we may be headed right up to that 45.99. We did find resistance right there before. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. If you want to chat with me the rest of the day, I'll be in Discord. Links in the description. It does cost you some money. And I'll see everybody later. I'll be back on Monday. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Bye for now. Stay safe. The account you